G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, let's do it, a mega camera shootout, show you all these different types of footage. No, that's not what we're checking out. Today, it's just a very simple breakdown of the Runcam 5, and to put it simply, is this a camera worth buying? Should you get it? Is it worth $100, or are there better other options out there? So, huge shout out to my Patreons, because I couldn't do this channel without you, so I've got one of these to give away, and I'll have some more information over on my Patreon page. I'll put that link down below, but yeah, thanks very much for that. We've got, thanks Runcam, we've got another one to give out to you guys. So this turned up in the mail the other day. This is Runcam's latest offering, the Runcam 5. What I've got here, this is the Runcam 3 that they made, and pretty much it's a piece of junk. I don't really like it. The more I've tried to use it, the battery just doesn't last, and a lot of people have problems with it. So that one is going to the side right there, and what we're looking at today, I'm glad and happy to say they've gone back to the drawing board. They've made this one, which first and foremost, I must say, if you've got a lot of session mounts at home, and we are going to be comparing it to the Session 5 a little bit. How loud is that truck in the background? It does actually fit in your little session mount. So I've got a session mount right here. This one's a little bit tight actually. So you can see it slides in, and it's just as tight when I'm using the Session as well, I should say. So that one's not going to be going anywhere. No! Rightio, now stop throwing my cameras all over the ground. But yeah, the Runcam Session 5, and I'm going to put all its text and specs on the screen. Thank you very much. Somewhere up here, it can do a whole bunch of resolutions like 1080, 120 frames per second, down to 60 frames per second. It can do 4K, 2.7, 1440, which is like the square image, a whole bunch. If I stick them on the scales, if you're the sort of person who's very concerned about weight, one nice little bonus feature versus this one right here is this, I think it's around 50 grams, 55 grams. Man, that I was not expecting to be so spot on there. 55 grams versus the Session 5, which is 72 grams. So you are saving a little bit of weight by using this. But let me tell you first and foremost, the image quality in the comments below when you're going to watch this. But I kind of feel like this camera is amazing. It's the go-to. A lot of people used it, but you can't get them anymore. So anyway, we're going to put that bad boy to the side. Now another feature I really like about this camera is the little SD card. I think this is a much better solution. Just a little sliding door there. It's nice and stiff. It's got a nice finish on it. It's not going to be sliding out anytime, and it's very easy to access your SD card. So that part I think is a little plus as well. And then finally, before I just show you some flight footage, because that's the main part of this video. You watch the video, you find out is that the sort of HD content that I'd be happy with, or you're happy with the stick on your drone. That's going to be the determining factor. And is it going to be worth $100? Really what you need to see is that video right at the end. But very quickly, the last thing I want to show you, open up their app, and what I really love is, it really bugs me trying to connect to Wi-Fi, because my phone, it dies an awful lot. It's not the best. The battery life sucks on my iPhone. Thanks very much. It's all smashed up. I definitely do need to get a new phone. But what you do here, let's go QR code configuration. What you need to do, you can go in, and if I go in here, you change, you've got a whole bunch of different things, your saturation, exposure, contrast, all that sort of stuff. But let's say you want to change some of those things on, and we're going to change the resolution. Maybe I want to do 1080p at 100 frames per second. You click apply, and then I already know the steps, so you hold the button in on the top, then it's a double tap, goes blue, and then all you need to do is point it at the gosh, can't hold this properly. Then all you need to do is point it at the phone. It should beep twice, and then it's saved its settings, and a little light will flash on the top. So now that's changed the settings in there. So I really like that feature. There's no real way to tell you just by looking at the camera what it's on, but all you need to do is go back into your phone. It'll tell you straight down below exactly what's on, all the settings, all that sort of stuff, if you do happen to forget. So I think that's a bit of a plus, because I definitely hate connecting all my cameras up to Wi-Fi. It just drives me insane, typing in the password, especially if you're already on your network. I don't know, it can be a pain. But anyway, that's it in the bench. That's the boring stuff out of the way. Let's just go out to the field, and I want to know, in the halfway through this flight, would you buy this camera, and would you think it's worth $100, or are you going to spend a little bit more money and try and track down a refurbished one of these, or I don't know, what other options? Would you get a GoPro Hero 7 for like $400 or whatever it is? So anyway, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, run! Radio Tony, so while you're down here doing some field repairs, very quickly, Runcam 5, and it fits all current GoPro mounts, well, apparently, so you've got your Oblivion there.
The obligatory go-to Oblivion, so it's light. That's my first impression. That's super light compared to a GoPro.
Yep.
Buttons seem similar.
Did you like the Runcam 3?
I did. It's on the top of a concrete silo in Geelong if someone wants to go and find it for me.
Okay.
That's a whole nother story. Let's try that. Oh, she's a bit tight. That's good. That fits in a tree. It actually doesn't seem very deep. Let's go right back. Seems a little bit smaller. It's sitting in the back of my mount. It seems to be a little way back, but that's got plenty of protection. It fits the mount.
And something over the box, the fox ear box too, because that's bigger. The fox ear box too won't fit your GoPro
well, the
mount.
fact that fits is a real bonus, because now I can't buy a session anymore. If I go and smash another one or lose one, that's going to fit my quads. So yeah, that fits a treat. So it passes that test. I say it tactile. It feels pretty good. It's got slightly softer plastic.
Yep.
Than,
and there's also a
GoPro.
feature. So on your phone, you don't change it by the settings on the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
You press like on your little app. You know what resolution, what setting,
Yeah,
and
good.
it's got a QR code, and you
Yep.
just point the camera at it, and it scans
cool.
the QR code and goes to those settings. So
yeah.
thoughts on that?
I like that. I think that's a really good idea, and I've seen more and more. I've seen some other cameras with that sort of stuff. This maybe concerns there's no cover over the micro USB.
Okay.
I wonder if you might get some dirt in there. I can see a bit in there already.
Yep. And on the other side, what about this
I
little,
did like that. That was good.
like a little lock thing rather than a...
Yeah, like if it's in a case, that's never going to move. But the fact that you can slide that forward and get your micro SD out, it's really good.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's as long as the footage comes out good anyway. That's the main part.
Yeah, let's see what the footage is like. Yeah, that's good.
All right, thank you. Radio, here we go. You guys are going to have to suffer through my, frankly, I'm not too sure how I feel about my freestyle. I have been trying to work on it for you guys, but I know freestyle's not always my first and foremost pick for my type of flying. So I'd love to know what you think about my freestyle that I'm doing. But also, we're going to be checking this out, and this is on its stock settings, and it is drastically going to be different to what you're going to see in the next little clip coming up in a second, because right here, this is just on its default settings. I took it out of the box, we threw it in there, pushed record, and then we went off, and I was flying around. I was enjoying. I think the image is clear, and there's no stuttering. It doesn't seem to be pixelated or anything like that. But what I really don't like is I feel like the contrast when you're looking at those really dark shadows, and also when you're flipping from a really bright environment down to the ground, it gets really, really dark and you're losing a lot of detail, and that can be a huge shame, because if you're flying around, like, well, I can't see anything. Well, like right there, you can see how dark it's going. What's the point of doing all this cool footage if all the, I guess, the foreground or the details of the trees and stuff below me is getting completely blown out by the bright sky that's up there? So I definitely didn't like that on this bit of a cloudy day, but luckily it's super easy to change in the app. So we just increase the brightness and a bunch of things. I'll put the links on the screen anyway of like what I actually was using by the end of it, and I think it made a huge difference. It didn't look as flat, it looked a lot more vibrant, and just generally a nicer picture. So let's cut to that now and see what it looks like. But I don't know, I want to know your comparison too, so drop that in the comments. What do you think? And let's do it and have a look at the next footage in 3, 2, 1, whoop! Rightio, so we're back out in the field with some different settings on the Runcam 5. Let's see how it goes, if it looks any better, and let me know what you guys think anyway. So let's take it off with the smooth operator. That was the sound there too, so I thought I'd give you a bit of a test. So I don't know, what do you think about the audio of this thing? Because look, it's not terrible. I don't think it's good as GoPro, but here, focusing back on the picture, you can see just how much nicer it looks. The colors look better. It looks way more vibrant. We've got about the same light in the sky as the last place, but right here, I think we're definitely not getting as washed out, or it doesn't look as miserable or as dark, and we've got more detail when we're flying around. So definitely boost up the brightness, and it's going to make a big change to your image if you're going to pick one of these up. But the big one, what do you guys think? Is this the sort of footage you'd be happy for $100? Or are you better off to save up for like a GoPro Hero 7, because yes, they look a lot better, but it's a lot more expensive? Or maybe if you're in the US, you might be getting a refurbished GoPro. You know, all those sorts of parts are different options depending on your price. But as far as I'm concerned, for $100, I think this is a relatively good product. I'd be happy to use this on my channel if I had nothing to record with. Sure, I'd slap this in. I'd be more than happy with the footage that I get from it. And also, check out all that water. It's absolutely disgusting down here at the moment, like almost floods, and every single field I want to go and fly in is just a massive muddy puddle. But anyway, that's the footage. Let me know, or what do you guys think? And a bit of a crash, of course. Well, a few bent props and I don't know, a bit of mud on it, but let's see, get this footage home. The camera looks fine, it's still recording, and see just how well it held up and if those settings made a difference. Granger, very quickly, we're about to, I just want to get your thoughts, look, on Runcam, what you've seen of the HD footage, their old Runcam 3, and this is their new one, the Runcam 5.
These are
Okay.
I'm sorry, but they are terrible. Everyone I know that has one of these, they have it for a week and the battery dies or some other problem, right? So just It's not in the equation.
Okay, this one?
This, now I watched Schizo's video on this. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I thought it was a GoPro, frankly, but then I had to study it a bit more and I realized that the FOV just wasn't the same, but the picture quality was really impressive. So I'm really interested to see how this goes.
All right, so, and something else I want to mention too, what do you think about, it fits in your original GoPro mounts. It's the same size as the old GoPro Session. So where the other one, you know, it wouldn't fit, this, like that's not going to fit. This one you don't need to change your mounts out. So
they've thought of that really nicely. That's a nice touch. Really good job there, Runcam. But everyone's different. Everyone likes something different. But me personally, I prefer it without the fisheye.
All right, nice. Thanks, mate. Alrighty, so there it is. There's my review of the Runcam 5. I'd love to know what you guys think. And overall, I feel like for $100, if that's all you can afford, it's definitely not a bad value product whatsoever. And of course, it's not going to be as good as GoPro quality. GoPros are very, very nice, but these bad boys, I think for the price, the factor for me, the fact that they can fit into all the mounts that I already have. So unlike the Foxia Box 2, which didn't fit, these make it very, very easy. And the footage is good enough for me, or I'd be happy to use this on my channel anyway. And I feel like I've got a few subs that watch my videos, but I don't know, some people out there might be sticklers for good video, in which case you're much better suited to some of the bigger, like a GoPro Hero 7 or something. But look, I don't know, what do you guys think? For $100 and you want to throw this on the top of your drone, I don't think too many people are going to be complaining. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Drop your comments down below, subscribe for more FPV related content, and as always, happy flying. Oh, a big shout out too to my Patreon supporters, because yeah, I've got another one of these to give away to you, so definitely stay tuned over on Patreon. So anyway, happy flying.